Yeah, good morning, everyone. So, welcome back for one more semester. I think new semester for you, right? And one of the very important subject as part of your civil engineering is your fluid mechanics. Okay, that's what we are going to see. Myself, I am Shafi SM. I'm working as associate professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Okay, so I'm at the verge of completion of my PhD, right, in the area of heat transfer. So don't worry about all these things. So I'll be taking your subject called as fluid mechanics, right? Now, today's class, what we'll discuss, just what is exactly your subject, okay, basics of your fluid mechanics, then what and all topics you are going to learn in your subject called as fluid mechanics, right? Then we will see what and all reference books, what you are going to read for your exams or for further understanding, okay, right? Now, as the subject indicates the fluid mechanics, basically these are the course objectives before going for the syllabus and all, right? So let me just tell you what exactly this particular course actually added for your civil engineering branch, right? Now, before going to exactly what is solid, what is fluid, I think these are the important things what we are going to learn in your fluid mechanics subjects. Okay, and before starting, so this is the things that is you are going to learn about the basics of statics, kinematics, and dynamics of fluids. So all these things I'll be discussing in the next slides. Okay, then how to measure the hydrostatic force. I tell you what is hydrostatic force. And basically, once you are aware of the basic terms about the fluid mechanics, and you will be in a position to solve some of the basic problems in your fluid mechanics. Okay, let me just take one. Now see, and also you will be in a position once you have some idea about the fluid mechanics and all. You there are a lot of laws what you are going to study. Okay, and you'll be in position to measure the different quantities like velocity of fluid flow and pressure of fluid flow. All these called as properties of fluid. So we'll discuss in detail. Okay. Now, once you are aware of everything here, finally, because you basically of head civil engineer, will be always dealing this about this hydraulics, hydraulic machinery, hydrology. All these things are your future courses as part of your civil engineering subject you are going to study. Okay. Now let me just start first of all. So before going to the syllabus, so let me just see. Yeah. Now see here. Now what is basically a fluid? Fluid is a general term. Okay. So normally, as I said during starting of the class, I asked somebody. They said water. Okay. Somebody said gas. Right. Somebody said vapor. So all the things like gas, vapor, water, everything commonly liquid. If you say okay, everything is just kept under a common name or a broad name, which is called as a fluid, which is called as fluid, right? So fluid may be a gas, fluid may be a vapor, fluid may be a water also. Okay. Now you see here the first point indicates what is a fluid. The name indicates here fluid is a substance which is capable of flowing. So fluid is the one when you just leave it like that, it just flows. It just flows. Okay. So example, I said the fluid is water. So what happened? Water I want to drink. Obviously, you have to take a glass and you have to drink the water. So what will happen? That particular fluid will occupy its own shape. Here the shape is shape of the glass or vessel. So that's the fluid. Okay. And also once you have subjected that fluid some sort of a force, it may just move or it may just stop, it may change its direction. So that's the fluid. Okay, so examples of liquids or fluids are nothing but your water is also called as a fluid, and milk is also called as a fluid, air is also is called as a fluid, and steam or vapor is also called as a fluid. So fluid is a general term because all the four things here are capable of flowing. So water can flow, milk can flow, air is flowing. Only thing is the air is having different phase. These things are liquids like milk and water, and air and steam are like a gas. Okay, right? So this is how, what is the definition of a fluid. Now what is a solid, what is a fluid? First of all, let me just explain that. So normally, if you just go for basics physics, the matter will be divided into three types. One is solid, okay. Then we have liquid and gas, okay. So solid is a completely different entity, and obviously liquid and gas is combinedly kept together under fluids. That's why the matter will be divided into two states: solids and fluids. Okay, so fluid state is commonly divided into either liquids or gas or steam, etc. Okay, so this is your is matter, right? Next, now you just see what is the basic difference between a solid and a liquid. Okay, now let me just go for a thing. Yeah, now see here, these three diagrams indicates what exactly a solid, what is a liquid, what is the gas. So what you are going to observe here in the three beakers here, solid, you just see it just settles at the bottom of the glass because it will occupy very low volume. It has some weight, no? So that's why it keeps on and actually settles at the bottom of the glass. So that's why it's called as a solid. Okay, now what is liquid? You can see, so it is capable of flowing. That's why you can see same amount of solid volume, now a little bit scattered here because it occupies the volume of the glass. That's a liquid. Now the volume of liquid a little bit more compared to the solid. Yes or no? So because the same amount of solid volume, if you take as a liquid, it will occupy more volume because liquid is little bit it will occupy more volume. Now what about finally the gas? It is just see the particles won't stay here, it just keep on moving because gas is the one which is very less weight, means it occupies very high volume. Now you can see that's why the same amount of balls here, solid means only this much portion here, then liquid is a little bit more portion but see, takes the shape of the glass, and volume, you can see volume of the gas, it just occupies the entire glass here. That means it is having more volume. So this is the basic difference between a solid, liquid as well as gas. Okay. Now this is one more example I have given. Just see the clearly what is solid, what is liquid, what is gas, and what we are as part of your subject. We have to consider about these last two things. That is what is liquid. Liquid is a part of a fluid. Okay. Now gas, obviously gas. So to say solid here, rigid, it's fixed in shape, it has fixed volume. But what about liquid? It's not rigid, it's not rigid, doesn't have a fixed shape. It takes the shape of the glass, or if you take a beaker, if you take some other vessel, it will take the shape of that particular vessel. Okay, so that's why it doesn't have fixed volume. It has fixed volume but doesn't have fixed shape. Now, what about gas? It's not at all rigid, doesn't have any shape, but no fixed volume also. So this is the, so I cannot be compressible. This particular solid, I cannot squash it or press it here. That's why. And what about here? This is also same thing with the liquid. But here what happens? Because once you subject a pressure or some pressing of liquid, it doesn't have any movement, I mean change. But what about gas? If we subject that compression or some sort of a pressure, automatically it will have a lot of effects because it is a gas. Okay, so we understood what is the basic difference between a solid, liquid gas, right? Now, what we are more interested is about liquid and gas. Liquid and gas. Okay. Now, what is fluid mechanics? Now, what is the mechanics first of all? Now, mechanics is nothing but the study about the science of particular fluid. So here, if I say it's a fluid mechanics, it is the science or a branch of the science which actually deals with the behavior of fluids. So fluids may be a liquid or gas. Fluids may be liquid or gas. Understood? So the fluid mechanics in the sense, the fluid, I am just studying about a branch of science which studies about the different behavior of, behavior means like pressure of fluid, like temperature of fluid, like velocity, all these things I am going to study. So that's about your fluid mechanics. Now there are two things. One is when the fluids may be at rest, the fluids may be in motion. So what is rest? So that is, I have a water or any sort of a fluid which is doesn't move, it just keeps as a standstill. For example, if you take an overhead tank or syntax tank, how is the water inside? Yeah, it's a in standstill condition. Whenever you open the tap in the kitchen or bathroom, automatically the water starts flowing into the bathroom or kitchen. Okay, now the fluid which is in the syntax tank or the particular tank is at rest. Now in motion, now what happens, as long as open the tap, if the fluid is or the water is in rest in the tank. But once you start opening the tap, you see the water from the syntax tank or overhead tank just comes through the pipes, and comes to the kitchen or bathroom. And now what is the position of fluid now? The fluid is in motion or movement. The fluid is in motion or movement. Okay, right? So fluid mechanics is a subject to study about the behavior of fluids, and I can study the fluid mechanics in two types. What is fluid at rest and fluid at motion? Okay, fluid at rest as well as fluid at motion, right? Now, if I study the fluids at rest, it is called as fluid static. Yes. So whenever if I study about the science of fluids which is actually at rest, it is called as fluid statics. Fluid statics. Now, whenever if I study a fluid which is under motion, it is called as fluid dynamics. The last one you can see. So fluid dynamics. So fluid mechanics broadly divides into two types. One is fluid statics, another one is fluid dynamics. Fluid dynamics. Okay. Now you see that how the water from the overhead tank reaches to your kitchen or bathroom. Yeah, yeah. That's very simple one. That is, you are created some sort of a pressure difference. Yes or no? So whenever you take the water to a certain height, it has some potential energy. That's nothing but some sort of a energy it's having. So once you open the tap, automatically because of the pressure difference, because that assume that you are in third floor, you have fourth floor the tank, automatically there is a difference of height from third floor to fourth floor. So that creates the pressure difference. So automatically the fluid starts flowing and nobody will actually stop that. So it is a property of fluid which is capable of flowing whenever you create a pressure difference. Okay. So there is a pressure which is actually automatically created because of the situation what I explained just now. Automatically it will the particular fluid starts flowing or water starts coming to the kitchen, etc. Okay. Now I learned about what is fluid statics, what is fluid dynamics. Now there is one more parameter, one more thing you have to see. Suppose if I am studying the fluid which is in motion, that's called as fluid dynamics. Now I don't know if I don't consider what is the force which is actually causing the fluid to flow. That means there is some sort of force Here, the previous example I have given, it's a pressure difference. Okay, so that force is moving the water to come to the overhead tank to, yes, it's a kitchen. Okay, suppose if you forget about the force, I don't consider the force, but I'll study about that particular fluid. That's called as fluid kinematics. Fluid kinematics. So in general, I can say that fluid mechanics will be like fluid statics, fluid dynamics. Fluid dynamics may be one thing, that is a, or fluid dynamics, I can say it's a two parts. So one is, if I consider dynamics means it's moving. How it's moving? Some force is moving it. If I consider that force which is moving the particular fluid, that is called as now, if you won't consider the force which is moving, it is called as fluid kinematics. If I consider the force which is moving, it is called as fluid kinetics. It's not mentioned here. It's called as fluid kinetics. So fluid statics, fluid dynamics is divided into fluid kinematics as well as fluid kinetics. Okay, so that's the broad classification of your fluid mechanics. Hope you understood what is your fluid mechanics, right? Now, just I'll give some beautiful example. You just see here, you can easily understand. Yeah, 1 minute. Yes, just go through this slide here. Yes, 1 minute. Just let me just take it. Yeah. Now, everybody might be observing these things in your houses. Okay, all these things are applications of your fluid mechanics. Now everybody, now I think those who are staying in Nellore here, you have this particular air conditioner. Okay, right? Now you see what is happening in the air conditioner. So somebody, they're saying sometimes you won't observe any cooling. They'll say that, sir, there is no gas. There is no gas available. So that gas is the one which is flowing, which is producing the cooling. Obviously, that gas is again a fluid. And unless that fluid moves, you have compressor, etc. Those parts. So the AC is a example where again of fluid mechanics plays a very important role. Okay. So next one example you just take. Now next, this is actually the daily activity what he has mentioned. That is, first one, you woke up in the morning and room is very cool because the coolant air is circulating inside the fluid. So once you have completed, you have gone to take a bath or wash your face. Now you see, once you open the tap in the sink or bathroom, you will see that water which is coming. You see that the system here. So let me just take one highlighter. Yes, yeah. Now see here, this is the piping. So from your overhead tank, you see here lot of piping which is going on here, through which it just comes to the bathroom or sink. Okay. Now after that, what happens? See here, you decided to have a breakfast. So obviously, I want to take a cool water in the refrigerator. Again, in refrigerator, you have cool water. So water is a fluid. How that water is being kept cool? Because of your cooling thing. How the cooling is observed? There is some sort of a cooling medium available in the refrigerator. Again, it comes under your fluid mechanics. Okay. Now you see, this is how your refrigerator looks like, and you see the different arrangement. Don't worry about the arrangement. Finally, you have cooling inside the refrigerator. That is by virtue of your fluid which is flowing, which is called as gas or refrigerant. Refrigerant. Okay, right. Now, yeah, you have your water happily. Then what happens? I want to have some work. I want to clean the houses. Now you have some vacuum cleaner. Yes or no? So that vacuum cleaner, or you want to take away dust, or you want to clean your houses. So that vacuum cleaner is again an example of your fluid mechanics, where you will be creating a suction in a particular part by some arrangement, and automatically the entire dust is going to suck into the what you call as a vacuum cleaner. So the vacuum cleaner is again a best example for your fluid mechanics or fluid mechanics science. Okay, next one. Now you see here, this is the thing, you started watching your news in the TV now. Now you see here, this is a submarine. Automatic. I mean, think everybody might have observed ship or boat or submarines in your seas, and you know that how boat is standing on the water, how submarine is inside the water, or how the boat is able to float on this some much amount of sea water. Again, I have to take care of about your fluid mechanics. So how the submarine is going to flow inside the water, how the boat or ship is going to, yes, actually floats in the water. So all these things I have to study. That's again, it's the basics of fluid mechanics. Now you see the aeroplane or unmanned air vehicle. So aeroplane is flying in the air. Obviously, once air starts, well, air is available in the atmosphere, aeroplane has to flow against the air. Again, it is the example of your fluid mechanics. Okay. Now you see again missiles. One more example is missile. So how the missile is actually flowing and reaching the target. So it has to, okay, that thing what you design is the missile has to go and bombard the particular target. But again, it has to go and against the atmospheric air pressure, etc. So that's why again it's the best example for your fluid mechanics. So it's the thing. Next you have, yeah, everybody have a bike and all, and know how the bike fuel is rushing into the what you call as engine. Basically you will be filling your fuel or a petrol in the tank, and there is a fluid mechanics behind that, how the petrol or the petrol and air mixture carburetor, what you called as, reaches to the engine, and by means of which you can operate your bike. Again, this bike has an arrangement where I have to have an idea about fluid mechanics. Okay. Now one more, see, printers. You have a printer where you have inkjet printers, laser printers, etc., where you have to refill that ink. So inkjet printing or laser printing, so that inkjets ink or the laser powder, whatever the thing say. So that again, it's a best example for your fluid mechanics. Okay. Now next we have, right, see, as I said, if you don't worry about the proper design, so this is the Titanic ship, or maybe some sort of ship which is floating in the sea. Now I have to assess the situation, then only it will float above the water. So for that, I must have a proper idea about the fluid mechanics. That is, how much weight this particular fluid is having, and how much weight the vehicle I have to build or ship I have to build, so that I can operate or move or float on the water. Okay. Sir, if I just won't worry about the fluid mechanics or what is the pressure below the ship because of water, don't worry about fluid mechanics. Just build something and go. Then see what will happen. Yeah, this is what will happen. So what happens without proper knowledge of fluid mechanics? So you have designed a ship, just you operate or kept on the water. So what happened? It just topples down because you are not build it as per the design, and you are not considered about the fluid pressure or fluid, yes, hydrostatics, what you call as fluid pressure or fluid statics. Okay. Right. Now see the power of fluid mechanics here. I hope you understood, and you have plenty of examples, right? So these are the some what I have given. That's about your applications of fluid mechanics. Okay. Now what happens, because the whatever I have given to you now is basically what is the fluid, what is the fluid mechanics, what is the basically difference between the solid and fluid. And fluid mechanics is basically, what is the fluid mechanics? It's a branch of science which studies about the fluids under fluids. And fluid mechanics can be divided into fluid statics as well as fluid dynamics. And fluid dynamics, you have two things, kinematics and kinetics. The kinematics or fluid kinematics is one where I have to worry about, I don't have to worry about the forces which is causing the motion or for motion of the fluid. And if I consider the forces, it's called as fluid kinetics. And I have shown the applications in day-to-day life, how the fluid mechanics plays a very, very important role. Okay. So with this, I'll just stop here. And again, maybe a 10 minutes break I'll give you. Then one more link, I'll just keep it in your what is called as a group, and you join once again after 10 minutes, and we'll just continue for the second hour class. Okay. So before starting that class, I'll clarify whatever the doubts you have. Then I'll go for the second hour. Okay. Thank you.